Hey everybody, it's Biggs with Biggs Chop Shop, and today I want to go over a little video of an update for the Chop Shop. Kind of go over some of the tools I recently picked up, and some of the things I used to do, and some of the things that I'm going to start doing. I kind of learned some new tricks from a bunch of you guys that are out there and who've already been doing it. First, I want to give a shout out back to the guy that I like. I've been watching his videos too. I hope I get this right. Don't hate me if I mess up. Ruiz? Ruiz? Anyways, he's one of my buddies. You should be able to see him from my subscriptions, what I subscribe to or whatever. But he's one of my friends on there. Check him out. I'll try to post his link in the event in the video here. He gave me a cool shout out. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you. I love your customs that you're doing. He's got a really nice drift car. It's like all blacked out. Looks really cool. I love his Silverado. Silverado's all slammed out, looking, totally new paint, looking good, man. He's got a couple others that are nice. He's working on like this off-road. I don't know, is it a Hummer or something? He's got a bunch of crazy stuff on it, but looks good, brother. Keep up the custom work. And speaking of which, custom work. I know that some of you guys have some of these tools, some of you guys don't. I have all these tools already, or most of them, but a lot of my stuff is in storage. Like all of my 80s cars, all my 90s cars, and even 2000s. All that earlier stuff is totally locked in my storage unit, and it's like buried 50, 60 cartons deep. So in order for me to get to that, I'd have to move like mountains, to get to it. So I just don't have time to do it. Full-time student, school's number one. People, if you're in school, stay in school. Also full-time worker. I've got a family of my own. I got a 4-year-old daughter and a lovely lady on the side here. So got to support both of them, and so that's why I haven't really been able to do a lot of the custom stuff that I really want to do. My approach to customs is a little bit different. Everybody's got their style. Everybody likes the same cool cars, but there's some cool twists that you guys do and some things that I like to do. Now, I'm a lowrider at heart. I love racing. So what I like to do, for me, I like to eventually get back into cool candy paints, really nice paint jobs, and just making them, custom in that aspect. So anyways, so let's get into it, some of the tools. First, I got inspired to get back into this stuff by Mr. Poocheman. We all know that. And we all know that Poocheman has these little kits, okay? They're little kits to get you started. He's got the descriptions in his videos and stuff, but there's a 256 tap. There's, what is it, 256 by 3/16 button head screws. It comes with crimps, comes with the number .50 Allen, and the drill. I forget the number of the drill. But anyways, really cool little kit. The hardest thing is, it's hard to get accessories for this. So you'd like that little thumb, screw holder for the tap. It's hard to do that. I'll show you what I had to do, or something to do like hand screw, a small little hand chuck screw. So I did, however, find a place where I can order the button head screws. I got a place I can order 100 at a time in a box, so that's cool. I was stumped on the axles. They used to carry the axle material there. However, they only ordered a box of 100 rods, and they're like 3 feet long, which I'm suspecting is what was given to me in this. And they said once they sold that out, they didn't have any meaning to get more. And I understand, because nobody really, who's buying that? Nobody's really buying it. So with that being said, that's the only thing that I'm really stumped on right now. And it looks like I'm going to have to epoxy the tap into a little nut, like Mr. Poocheman did. I wanted to avoid that. So here's kind of like what I was thinking of doing. This right here is a little mini tap holder. It's like what's called a plain tap wrench. And you don't have to get fancy with it, but I use this stuff for so many other things. If you can see that right there, it's a little mini tap. Now, if you use something like this, chances are you're going to break the tap that's that small. See that little tap in there? You're going to break that if you use something like this. But I already was going to need this for something else anyways. So it's kind of a dual purpose holder, you know what I mean? So why not? So that's one thing I picked up. And I picked up two other things that are pretty cool. This little doohickey right here. This is like a little number 0.50 screwdriver. And this is the screw in your little screws at the bottom of the car. We were looking all over for this. Nobody had this. And so finally I went to a place locally by my house in Orange County that had one. Also, I got one of these. This is a little, like a pin vise, pin screwdriver kind of thing. You put your little drill bit in there, or your tap. It could hold both. And you tighten it up right here. And then you can just, tighten it or work it however you want. So this is kind of a cool alternative. If you guys don't want to mess around with epoxy. I mean, it's cheap for epoxy, but this is like $7. So I'll bust all these tools out in another video. I'm just going to kind of show you a general idea of some of the tools that I got. So we all had seen the way Poocheman holds all his screws and his crimps and stuff, and he uses these Altoid boxes, which is a great idea because once you close that, it stays closed. And I haven't opened this yet, but what I used to use, I never used screws when I first did customs. I didn't know about how to use screws and stuff. As a teenager, I didn't care. So once I popped them out, I remember I screwed them. I would drill them out, but then once I did that, they just popped back in because I didn't Dremel or drill out that little coupling that attaches it. So never really needed the screws. But I see now that I want to do a better job, so I'm going to use the screw technique, thanks to Poocheman. But I used to put my little knickknacks and stuff inside these little icebreaker containers. They're plastic, but once you secure them in there, they're pretty sturdy. I haven't really had any issues with these, but I have a ton of these. These are the mints that I use normally. I use these mints. They're really good. So whenever I'm done with something, I put stuff in here. It's a good way to kind of, secure stuff. So it's a little twist to it. Same crap. Here's another thing that people don't think often to use, but I use these for all kinds of stuff. These are just your simple plastic forks that you get, cutlery forks, like to go. Man, I can't tell you how many times I use these things for propping stuff up against without getting my finger marks on and stuff. You kind of have to hold stuff, and if you hold it with your hands, sometimes the grease and the oil in your hands, even if you wash them, it just leaves fingerprint marks or something like that. So this is kind of a little way to get around it. Just a thought, you never know what you need it for. And it's funny that Poocheman says that he also goes to the beauty supply stores when his wife goes because he finds good ideas. Well, when I used to do my painting, one of the things I used to love to do was marbleize paint. And I saw a good example of one on a Camaro. Somebody painted a Camaro on Hobby Talk. If you guys don't know what that is, hobbytalk.com. Go check it out. It's a diecast, talk center about everything about cars. And what I do is I go to even the makeup stores with my woman, and I see what they use there. And one thing that was kind of cool is these little sticks right here. These little, I don't know what they call them. They're like little plastic stick things. And what they use them for is they dab it in something and then they put makeup on their face or whatever. But what I like to use this for is a cool little tester strip. Like when you're doing paint, you can mix paint, or you can dab something on there to see, what is that reflective? How does it look like? So these come in handy when you do that kind of stuff. And you can get these they don't even care about these. These are free for whoever wants to test something out. So I just, every once in a while, I pick a couple of these up and I'll test them. I'll do something a little different with them. Another thing is the girls, they like to use this little brush right here, something about your eye, like under here or something, to remove or to put on. But it's got like it's a plastic holder with like a soft spongy tip. And these, you can do all kinds of sorts of things with this kind of stuff. It's nice to be able to get into, some weird places and even out the paint if you have like a imperfection or something. Or, I mean, I've seen all kinds of stuff where these come into handy and they just totally save the day. So I don't know what these disposable like eye cover things, I don't know. But that whole marbleizing of the paint, this is the item that I would use all the time. Let's see if I can put it in the dark so you can see it. Okay, right over here. See how it's kind of like an angle? This little tip right here is spongy, and it's like a weird angle, see? And what happens is, I'll show you this technique later when I do tutorials, but when you paint a car black, right, flat black, you let it sit, and then you tape up your lines for, like, say if you're doing a Camaro Super Stripe, 2 lines down the car, you tape it up just perfectly. And I would usually shoot like a maroon, like say if I did a maroon stripe, and then I would take a little bit of like orange, maybe like an orange gold kind of mix, and keep it like, I didn't mix it so well, so it's like real, stringy, watery, oily looking. And then I'd put some on this right here, I dab it, and I would just kind of use very lightly the little sponge of these, and it doesn't get a full brush of orange. It kind of like spots, so it looks kind of spotty and weird and swirly. And then I would even take another one, an unused one, I would dip it in some like thinner, a little bit of thinner, and kind of mess it with my hand a little bit, and then I would go along the top of it and kind of dab it on there so it gives it more of a distorted effect. Of course, every time you added a layer of that, so the red, I'd have to let it sit, and then I'd add the orange and let it sit, then I'd add like the goldish color with like the either a transparent or a thinner mix. And after I would add that in there, you'd really see like a marbleized effect come together. And this is what I use for that, a little quick disposable spongy type thing. So like I said, this is at the makeup store, Sephora is where I got this at. So I don't even know, oh yeah, these are lipstick applicators girls use on lips. So they work really well with car customizing stuff. Of course, when I have packages, there's 2 ways to open them. The trusty old knife, and that's for like cardboard and stuff. And then I got yeah, I know they're pink, but these are medical shears. This cuts all the blister packs. These are designed to cut clothes, like, when you get in a car accident or something, the paramedics, they all have these. But I originally got this for my tactical gear, and don't ask me why. I don't know how I ended up with the pink one, but somebody gave this to me, and it's just been sitting in my desk. So when I get mail and stuff, or a package I just can't open, I just get this thing out, and I'm just busting it open with this thing. So that's where that comes into play. So you never know. Sometimes even models, like those big models, I'll cut the plastic pieces out sometimes, or trim them with this. Really, really handy. I did find one of my old tools. I don't even know who makes this. Boker, that's what it says, Boker. Anyways, it's a little side cutter. It's got like a little spring in there, and that's for like this. You can squeeze it, and it bounces back. See that? So you put your axle rod in there, just cut it. Really cool. I got new ones because I didn't know if I had these anymore, and I don't even know how sharp these are. I can see some some ridges in there already cut, already broke. So I don't know. We'll test it out. Here's another container that I use. I used to use these as breath mints or whatever, or gum. And this is a pretty cool little container. It's an upright container, so you can store long things in there, like axle rods that are not too long or too short or whatever. I just put them all in like one container, or something small like if you have the button head screws. See this little lid kind of opens up, and you can kind of pour yourself some screws out. Just however you want to do it. Or what's nice with this is you can take the top off of this, comes right off. Then you can get in there, with your hands in there, and get whatever you need. So another alternative, another way of getting to parts in your shop. Another thing that I would use a lot is sometimes I use a surgical tape. This is like taping up gauze, like little 2x2s or 4x4s. This little tape holds a lot of stuff, so sometimes I would just and lay it upside down on the table. And so if I didn't want stuff to move, I would just put the little screws or crimps or whatever. I never use crimps, but I'm just giving you an example. I just put it on that tape so it won't go anywhere. And then when I need it, I just pull it off the tape. So it might help you out, especially if you're fumbling stuff around and stuff. The Expo marker trick, I learned that from Mr. Poocheman. Anyways, a Expo dry erase marker, I haven't done it yet, but this is one that's already used up. And what I'm going to do is the same thing he did. Take the back of this little back right here. See those little knobs? You get your needle nose. You pull, in the back of here, pull it out. Take the tube that's in here with paint. You pull that out. You bleed out the needle first right here, right? So the way we're going to do that is you put in like roll up some tape, some paper like shop towel paper, and put it in here, and then pour some acetone in the end right here, and then put that lid, this little cover, back on, and then you take that fine tip and you just bleed out the red that's in there, and then pretty soon this will be filled with acetone. He's got a great video on it. Go check out Poocheman. I'll put a link in the description for that. Really cool video, and he shows you how to do it, but credit to where credit's due. That's where I learned it from, so I guess I'm going to try that next. I've never did that before. When it came to acetone, again, what I would always use is I would take something that's small like this, pour acetone in here. I would take one of these little things, dip it in there, and then I would take the car and just mark on the car with one of these little spongy things where I want it. Or I would use like a makeup brush, or because makeup brushes, they have some hard brushes in there. Some of the paint brushes are really soft, and the other brushes are really hard, so use a hard brush and just get all the tampos right off. I've done that before, but I haven't used the marker technique. I think that's way better. Marker seems to be easier. So with that being said, let's get into some bigger tools here. First things first, the shop, I hold all my tools in one container. Now I got this container, it's a toolbox, a Craftsman toolbox, and I think it's from the 80s, but I got it for free. It was sitting outside next door, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna use it, I'm gonna use it. So here it is. This right here, it's an old school Craftsman, and I just put all of the tools that you see here on all these little rows right here, just right in there. And it's kind of cool because it's mobile. You can take it wherever you go. So your shop can kind of go, if I go visit Poocheman, I bring my shop with me. And bam, open up shop right there, and you can do whatever we need to do. Another thing is, I just picked up a new anvil. Now I had the small red one that you saw in Poocheman's garage. I had that one, but it's locked up with all my old cars and stuff, and I can't get to it. So I went out and bought a cheapie, another 15-pound one. This one's pretty cool because you can do a lot with this, and really kind of a backup for your axles if you run out of crimp tubes. Next is, it's not the best drill in the world, but I got two of these. The Drill Master 18 volt. It's got a battery. It's the keyless chuck 3/8 drill. You can basically use almost anything with this drill for car customizing. It doesn't have to be powerful. The key thing is that it's variable speed and the keyless chuck, and you can go reverse and forward with it, and it's small enough to put, you know, the smallest of the small things that we have. And it's rechargeable battery. There's no wires to it. Poocheman kind of insisted, you know, if you did it, make sure you get a battery operated one rather than plug-in. I'm kind of old school. I'm used to the one I had in my box. All my tools that I had for customizing are in the same box with all the old Hot Wheels. So I have all plug-in drills. But anyways, it'll be the first time I'm using this, and I got it for like 19 bucks. So if it fails, I'm not really too caring about it, too worried. So got 2 of these, one for the small drill and then one for the big drill, so I don't have to take them apart too much. So that's that. Then I got into another kit. Got my Dremel here. Now this isn't the best Dremel, but it is a Dremel, and it is a battery operated Dremel. It's got some cool pieces on the bottom, but what I did, I also went out and I got all these extra little pieces so I can do extra customizing later on. So if you're going to pick up a Dremel, pick up some of these stuff too, because you never know when you can use this other things. If you're working on other models, stuff around the house, around your other shop, your car shop, whatever. So pretty cool little tool. And now for the little stuff. Picked up a cheapy ball peen hammer. This one's from Pittsburgh. It's a 16 ounce, little small ball peen. You don't need much with this stuff. Safety first. Gotta get goggles. I don't want stuff knocking out my ugly eyes. These right here are really cool. Dangerous as heck, but really, really cool. These little blades, watch out. They cut through your cars like butter. Poocheman gave me this idea as well. Really, really cuts down on time, and you'd be amazed. Picked up some extra 3/16 drill bits. This is for getting the center little rivets out of the cars. So I've got some extra ones here. I'm not going to go through that many, but just got them. Some weld. It didn't have to be JB weld. Super epoxy. You know, hold to anything, kind of whatever. Got to get a good little utility knife. This right here helps you out, get you cutting little small areas. You know, if you need something super sharp, that'll help. You need something even smaller, get one of these. Stanley, what is it called? Hobby knife. Pretty cool. Little sharp little tip. Definitely worth it. This is really cool. Look at this. 60-piece titanium drill bit set. Now it's got literally all those tiny, teeny, tiny drills. See those? I don't know if you can zoom in on that. Super, super tiny. It's got all those bits in there, and this helps you out a lot. So, got that. This is another one that I saw while I visited Poocheman in his shop. He had these on his magnet little hang-up. These are little file sets. It's called needle files. Dude, these things are so freaking cool. Different sizes, blades, different grits. Really nice. Really nice. I'm glad I got those. Needed a punch set. Nice little 8-piece punch set. You can see the thickness of the head. So in case you run out of crimps, you can always punch your axles like he used to do. I think that's a good backup plan. And the last couple of ones that we have here, there we go. I picked up a couple of couple more of these little side cutters. These are the same thing. I think they're Pittsburgh. Yeah, they're Pittsburgh. So pretty nice. They're a lot nicer than the other red ones I got. So couple more of those, and a fairly nice set of needle nose. Now these are skinny needle nose. Tip of these little things, see that? Nice little skinny needle nose. So, pretty cool. But anyways, guys, hopefully this video isn't going to be too long, but just a little quick tour of the tools that I have. Hopefully the next video that you'll see will be all these tools busted out and me using them and doing something. So thanks for watching. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe, add our channel, comment down below what do you think. Have you used some of these tools before? I know some of them are really cheap, but that's the fun thing about this hobby. You don't have to have $1 million worth of tools to do this stuff. This just makes it easier and makes your time customizing a little bit fun. So comment down below, tell me what you think, and thanks for watching, guys.